Alright, welcome into today's game. Today we're taking out the F-14A early. It is a 11.7 US jet fighter. I mean, if you don't know what the F-14 is, it's pretty iconic. I definitely grew up watching Top Gun all the time and have some fond memories of this plane in pop culture. It's in an interesting spot nowadays with 13.0 being a thing. You don't get a lot of up tiers, which is really nice because uh, with the changes to multipathing, the AIM-54 is a pretty good missile as long as people don't notch it, which in some cases people might notch it depending on what their RWR is. And that's another benefit of this plane is that at this point, at this BR spread, RWRs are pretty basic. For the most part, you could have people who don't even really realize that there's a missile coming at them. They just know that there's a radar lock. So right there, that looks like a prime target. I'll lob one off at him. That's another pretty good one, so I'll lob one off at him. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and hit the notch because, again, my RWR is not super great either. I just know high. That could have been a missile that just whizzed by us, potentially. I don't think it was, but certainly sounded like one. Yeah, this also does not have the greatest RWR, but that's okay. I think that's our missile there, getting close. Don't think it's actually going to hit. Sometimes you don't hit, and well, that's okay. Because the AIM-7F is also a very good missile. Obviously not an active radar. But it does pretty good at this BR. I don't think either of those missiles are going to hit. But right now we're going to lock up that Mirage there. We might lob... we're going to leave him be, actually. We're going to lock up that MiG-23. We'll lob a missile at him. Do need to keep my eyes open on that F-14. He's about to die, though. We go ahead and get ourselves a kill. And we're going to fall back to our team a little bit here. You don't want to be the first one spotted. Yeah, it looks like that F-14 lobbed a missile at us there. You don't want to get focused on in this thing because it does not have great acceleration. In a one-on-one, it's pretty good, especially against, if you're fighting an F4, you can pretty much do whatever you want to it, and you're gonna come out ahead. But, like MiG-23s, you need to be a little bit careful with. I'm going to pull in here. I suspect there's more around this F4, but we're just going to go ahead and give it a shot here. We got our missile off at him. He might be able to notch that quick enough. He was able to notch that, so we're going to try to get guns on him here. We get a hit and we need to extend out because we have a MiG-23 on our tail. MiG-23 pulls off, so I'm going to go vertical to keep that F4, that Phantom, from getting guns on us. The MiG-23 is kind of on our tail here. He might just, yeah, I kind of suspected he would do that. So we're going to turn back in, keep my head on the swivel best I can there. And we're going to lock up this F4US, or F4S, sorry, not F4US. And that he should eat that missile as long as he doesn't start evading. There we go. I'm going to lock someone else coming up here. Actually, we're going to switch to that. MiG-23. Oh, he got pretty lucky there. That's our last AIM-7. So now we have to sort of play it a little bit smart here. Get some hits on him. I don't think they're going to do that much. Oh, he actually goes down. I am getting a ping from the rear. Be a little bit careful. It's just AI, I'm good. There's 4 left, so I need to start going a little bit easy on my throttle here. A little bit low on fuel. I don't take drop tanks in this. Games are usually fairly quick, so I don't super feel the need to do it. We're going to lock up that 23, lob a missile at him. He's going to flare it, but we have this frog foot cutting in front of our nose. And then the MiG-23 again, coming in front of our nose. We'll spray some rounds at him. Burn just a little bit to get out of the range of the frogfoot from just looping around. And we'll turn the afterburner off. We shouldn't need it to deal with the Su-39 here. He's actually flat spun, and there we go. That's a pretty quick 5 kills in this thing. I think really the main... This guy's lobbing off AIM 54s, so we gotta be a little bit careful here. He looks like he's just lobbing off Phoenixes and heading back to the airfield. There's 2 more, so we do have to be a little bit careful there. And I am low on fuel, which is sort of good, sort of bad, because we can't really burn too much, but we will have a pretty good performance advantage to it. So I'm just slowly bringing this in here. We're going to drop throttle here, do some goofy F-14 things, and we're going to follow him up here. We'll get a crit on him, take both of his wings off, and down he goes, and quickly turn off our afterburner. I am surprised at how kind of goofy the F-14 flops around. I think it's probably a little bit overkill. It seems cartoonish to me to have the F-14 flop around like that. It's really hard to control. I mean, I overrolled there, definitely. And so you definitely have to be careful with it. The Mirage is something that might give us a little bit of a challenge here. We'll flare that off. It's a... Ooh, that was close. It's a 1C. So, you know, I'm debating lobbing that missile off, and I actually am, because I was in the 2 kilometers before I turned around. He's going to drop some flares, and I'm going to go to a low stage on the afterburner just to make sure I keep that gap closing. We're going to go up and over. I probably could have got guns on him there. However, I would prefer to just slot onto a 6 like this and have a better sort of solution here. I'm going to drop the flaps because now he's pretty well damaged. There's a crit, and that's our last bullet. Drop some flares just to be safe, and that's it. You know, the F-14 really has a pretty good time in a down tier. It's really benefited from the BR changes plus the multi-pathing changes with the AIM 54, even though I didn't do a good job of showcasing that here. It's in a pretty good spot. It's kind of top dog of the second top tier, I guess you could say. Back to its former glory. I actually remember when it was added, and it was that was it. you flew the F-14 against MiG-21s and F-4Es. So that was pretty much the top dog and top tier. So let's get into another game and see what we can do. We're just going to do the same thing really this game. Try to lock people up at lower altitudes and get ourselves in a position where we can have a good situation for our Phoenixes that we lob off. So just sort of a shallow climb. I'll keep my speed up best I can. And once I get to about 5-6 kilometers, I'll start looking for people to lock up. I try to shoot the Phoenixes off at just slightly longer distances than I do for the AIM-120s, just across the board. I try to look for, you know, a good altitude. I really try to not shoot missiles off under Mach. You know, at that point they're just too slow, especially like an AIM-120. You know, you might as well not shoot it at that point if you're asking me. And the AIM-54, same kind of way. It benefits so much from having speed under or behind it that I really try to make sure that I launch them with at least Mach 1, preferably higher if at all possible. Let's see. So we did close pretty quick, surprisingly quick. So I'm gonna lob that one off there. It looks like they're gonna go between that gap. We'll try to get someone else here. They could just hide behind that hill. There's a little break there. That's who I'm going to launch this one after. I'm going to wait for them to get to right about where that gap is. A little bit earlier. Not sure which one that's going to actually track after. I would have preferred the further one, actually. Because this guy can just sort of hide behind those mountains really quickly. I don't think I'll get that first kill. I think they tuck behind the mountains like I suggested. Although I do see some countermeasures there. Ooh, there we go. That one pulled some hard G's at that last second there. We're in sort of the same spot as last game. However, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. I do have some teammates hanging out in the area. See an F4, F-104. We're going to turn our TWS on, reduce the scope a little bit there. And we're going to lob that off. It's at a little bit further range, so he's going to have plenty of time to react to it. But I want to at least get something off in the air. Not sure what he was planning on doing there. We're just going to keep going. Just going to outpull that. He's going to slot onto our 6 and probably launch something at us. I need to be a little bit careful here. We do have those guys as well. He's going to die, and right now I'm just focused on extending out of here. There's a lot of people in this valley here. I'm going to do a slight right bank just to increase my distance between this F-104.
Thanks.
I'm not sure where that missile was going. Drop a flare there and pull behind these clouds. And just climb a little bit. MiG-23 there. That missile's got no shot. Unless we do what I just did and fuel starve it. So we're going to nose down again. I think he lost lock anyway. And we're just going to keep going at this point. That Mirage is going to lob every single missile he has at me. I did increase the fuel slightly, as opposed to the first match we were in, just because I felt that I was a little too low for comfort. And I think I'll definitely benefit from that decision during this game here. If I get enough distance between me and the other team here, I might turn and deal with this Mirage. I'm not a big fan of people latching on like that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I think I actually heard another person over there, so we need to be a little bit careful. I don't know if we have the energy to do this, but if I lob a missile at him and he's low speed, his flares aren't going to do quite as much. Lob some rounds at him just in case we can catch him out. There we go. That's a good hit there. Get my IR missiles locked up on him. I do need to be careful. I'm sure the rest of their team is closing quick. So I'm going to take his wing off and I'm just going to extend away. That's never good when people call you out in chat, so I'm just going to have to extend for a bit. We're going to go cold. I'm sure whoever that is pretty close. So I'm going to try to lose this, whatever that was in the mountains here. Obviously trying to spot me. I think that's the person who's probably right behind me, who just called me out. I really, ideally need to be cooling it on the burner here, but I'm a little worried that there's something following me right in those clouds. I think I'm okay for at this moment. I'm gonna loop back. I might have seen something just at the end there. I think I'm okay, unless I'm blind. I should be alright. So we're going to go low on the burner at this point, and I'm going to turn my TWS back on. And I'm going to go help out my teammate here. I do have one 7F here left that I can lob off at someone here. I'm going to go for the last guy. I'm going to go for the last guy, and we're going to slot onto their 6. I really hope that kills him. Got him. And we're just gonna extend. He dumped all his energy to do that right there. We're out of countermeasures, so that's something to definitely be wary of. I don't have the option to drop flares or anything at this point, so I need to be a little bit careful. And again, fuel is always a concern. Maybe after this is a good excuse to start bringing my drop tanks, just because that's a very sketchy situation to be in. I think that Mirage is out of missiles. I really hope he is, because I'm gonna loop back and try to get a lock on this rack here. There we go. And now we're gonna turn with this Mirage at this point. Ooh, that's a good shot. Dang. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna whip this nose around, see what I can do here.
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack.
That's gonna do it. That's a flat spin. GG. No fuel. Oh, that was a good showcase, I think, of what the F-14 can do. I would suggest drop tanks. If you learn one thing from this video, use drop tanks. So I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.